Alrighty, I am live. Welcome to MacBean Scottish Fitness. It's after the meet, so we're going to eat, and eat. So I've had many meals since my competition, getting fueled up. So before I even get the heavy meal, we'll make a nice light fruit drink to get plenty of nutrition inside. So what I like to do is have a grapefruit, and I got some lemons and some limes. I think I'm currently have had the last orange, or maybe I got one left. Let me check. I do. I do. Orange, I'm glad I looked. I know, couldn't help it. So, a lot of vitamin C here in citrus. A lot of minerals that are going to be beneficial to me. Definitely well worth spending the time. Remember, Cutco knives. Just a couple of these that I have. I do like these. They are my favorite. They hold the edge. They need sharpening. All you gotta do is have them come sharpen for you. So the grapefruit is probably my favorite, especially red grapefruit. This is by far the most delicious, I think. So what I do is I just squeeze some of the juice in there. And sometimes I just eat it right from the rind. And all this stuff goes back out in the garden or next to it. Either way. So what I do, I sit there and squeeze this in. Now today, looks like it's going to get in the 50s. So I am going to go for a walk after this. I'm going to do my heavy lift after, or heavy meal after this. I already had a light meal earlier, consisted of a glass of milk and a brownie. So yes, sometimes I do eat sweets, but if I do eat them, I eat them early in the day. So then all that sugar gets converted to energy during my walk. I burn it off, and it's very beneficial for me. Thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Right now that's very tasty too. So far, grapefruit, orange, and some lemons and limes. Oh, that's some good stuff. I put them in quarters. They're easier to squeeze that way. So I'm very happy with my meat. I hit the weights I wanted to. Lets me know my training was spot on, which is important. You got to try to sit there and go after it just with the right timing. A lot of times you can peak too soon, and then you actually start losing strength before you have your meet, or you don't get to the potential you want to be at. I think my timing was pretty good. So my opening lift was 182.5 kilos. It's about 403 pounds. And that's why every time I did a bench workout, I did 405. I wanted to make sure that my body knew we have to do this anytime I require it. You know, I had people on my Instagram, because they haven't been following me as long as everybody has on my YouTube. You know, you're eagle lifting. You're always lifting heavy. Well, yeah. When you compete in powerlifting, you have to. That's part of the competition. That's part of the training. Got to lift heavy to lift heavy. Doesn't happen any other way. And now that I've got my competition lifts on there, I've noticed I'm getting less dumb comments. So nobody was dumb enough to say fake weights. Although there was a lot of people confused about what the weight was, because they are kilos. And they are very high quality weights, so they are thinner than what you see in the gym, but they have equal thickness all the way across. They're not thick at the end and then paper thin in the middle, or have holes in them. So they're like, oh, it looks like 2 1/4. Yeah, well, you just told everybody you know nothing about powerlifting. You might want to keep quiet and embarrass yourself less. So anytime I see a lift, or I see somebody post something that seems extraordinary, I go into their bio and I research them and find out just what is it about them. You know, I had, I think it's Jeffrey Graham, sat there, you make congratulations, and he told me his lift, and I researched him on openpower.org, and he is number one in the world, folks, in the 198 class, 60 to 61 raw bench, of a bench of 202.5 kilos, which equals my best bench at the 275 pound class. So very impressive. All right. Now, if I would have been a regular dummy, I said, oh, there ain't no way you did that. Well, no, he did it. It's on record. You just have to research. Thank you. Appreciate that, I do appreciate that. So it was hard work. It paid off. I feel very good about my training because my results backed it up. What I trained for and what I did in the competition was equal. So here's my citrus drink, consisted of a grapefruit, an orange, 2 lemons, and 2 limes. Woo-wee! Sweet and sour at the same time. Very tart. Reminds me of those sweet and sour candies, except this is healthy for you. So last I checked, it was 38 degrees. Supposed to get to 50. Hey, Health is Money, how we doing? They're not training, or they don't understand what you can accomplish after almost 5 decades of training. So the ones that say, you go, wow, that's unreal or whatever, they ask good questions, like how long have you been training? You know, how did you get to this point? What was your best lift? You know, what's your body weight? What's your height? You know, these are good questions, which I don't mind answering. And then you have the ones that, I don't know, for whatever reason, some are just trolls and they're just going to say stupid things anyway. And they say, oh, it's fake weights. I understand there's fake weights out there in the gym. Not in the gym I go to. Not to any of the 3 gyms that I go to are there fake weights. The one gym asked about it. They said that they could go to another place and borrow some if I'd be interested in posing for a picture with these weights. I said, no. To put real weights there, my lift is impressive enough. I said, because here's the problem. Once you do fake weights, Everything you've done is now suspect. So I said, no, I'm not going to do it. And they didn't do it. I have to go stop. Picked up some bananas. Bananas are good for the stomach. They're high in potassium. Of course, I got my multivitamin. I got my turmeric. These are the things I'll have after I have my solid meal. I've already had one solid meal earlier today. What I think I'll do is I will go for my hike and get that in because it's nice and sunny. I think time I get done with my little chat here, it should be in the 40s. I can dress for it. And I'll do a little walk and chat about that too and post it later. I do have some other video from the meet that I want to post probably the next couple days. I think 3 of the videos are on my wife's camera, and I probably need to either borrow her phone while I'm in town so I can upload them, because I can't upload them from here unless it's a very, very short video. I can upload picture post, or maybe a 10-second video, but anything longer than that, it just gets ridiculous. So I usually wait till I go to work. So I'll probably, there's some other lifters there of note. I'm going to upload Tim Allison, who hit his goal of 500 while fighting a stomach virus. Spent a day in the hospital afterwards, but he's now back home and recovering. So that is good to hear. But there was a man who came and who had every excuse not to compete or not to compete to his level. Nobody blamed him. He was sick. He hadn't had any food or water for over 24 hours, and he still came personal best of 500 pounds. So I don't really jog for cardio anymore. How to grow forearms like mine? Lift with no wrist straps for 50 years. And it's just over time. I mean, I never use wrist straps. So everything you lift involves your wrist. And I've been doing it for, 49 years now. You're welcome. So, but there are a lot of wrist exercises you can do. You can do like little curls like that with dumbbells or a straight bar. You can do a reverse curl. We'll definitely do this. Also, pull downs will definitely, on a machine, will definitely work your wrist. That's one thing, is I always had a strong wrist. When I played farmyard ball, when I got a hold of you, I had you. You weren't breaking that grip. So another shout out is to Nick Simons, my age and weight class. He hit a personal best of 155 kilos, and he hit it easy. He had 160. My best lift on Saturday was 187.5 kilos. I probably had 192.5, but I had to save something for July. So I did get asked to go back in July, which I like to do anyway. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. Those who joined late, I squeezed a grapefruit juice, red grapefruit, orange, 2 lemons and 2 limes in there. It's going to provide me a lot of energy. And it is a diuretic, so it is going to burn fat for me. I am currently now at 244, so I weighed in at 241. I have gained 3 of my pounds back. Yeah, paying in a pull-up bar, that'll do it. Doing pull-ups without straps. Got a guy who wrapped up the straps to do pull-ups. I go, what are you doing? For 50-year-olds, be patient. Okay? Because understand, we all mature at different ages. Some people are 14 and are as mature as they already become an adult. Some of us don't become a complete adult until we're 17 or 18. I grew all the way until I was 20. So I kept growing even when I was 20 years old. So we all hit puberty, but we all hit our adult potential at different ages. I had a friend at 14 who could grow a beard, full beard. He was done growing. He didn't get any bigger after 14. He was completely mature. He had adult muscles. He was extremely stronger than I was. But by the time I was 20, I was much, much larger than he was because he never got any bigger because he was done growing. So at 15, be patient. This is the time to learn form. This is the time to do the lighter weights and do the higher reps. Don't worry about the ego lifts. Don't worry about, what I mean ego lifts is you're doing something with such bad form that you shouldn't be. And you're boom, bouncing it off the chest. Hey, I did 145. Well, you did, but you're setting yourself up for injury. Boom, boom. Hey, I did 145. So try to avoid the bouncing and jerking exercises. Get your sleep. Make sure you're eating breakfast. Breakfast is extremely important, especially when you're 15. You're going to need far more protein than an adult will need because you should probably be in school, burn a lot of energy. So you need at least 90 grams of protein just for brain activity for the day. So make sure you're getting a good breakfast in. Maybe 2 breakfasts before you go to school. If you first get up, have a glass of milk and an oatmeal cookie or something. But yeah, be patient. Don't try to be in a hurry. Hurry causes injuries, and injuries causes delays. And if you get enough injuries, you just stop going. So at 15, you got plenty of time. I started working on it at 13. Just take your time. You'll get there. Remember, you're trying to make a better version of yourself. You're not competing against anybody else in that gym. You're not competing against any other 15-year-olds. There's nothing wrong with a bunch of you getting together to work out together and motivate each other. But at the end of the year, you want to be a stronger version of yourself. And then that's all you need to do. So yeah, patience is key. We try to rush things, and it's hard to tell a 15-year-old not to rush things. Trust me, I was there. I know how I was. I want it yesterday, but you can't have it yesterday. So remember to hit the thumbs up to help the channel. I'd appreciate that. Remember to ask questions like that. Those are good questions. That's so good. Let me see. Should I chase girls now? Not if you want money. Just kidding. Understand, I'm not a dating counselor. Okay, at 15, I was interested in girls. Probably far more than they were interested in me. As I told my kids, I said, your mother was not the first woman I dated. She was the last. I was not the first man she dated. I was the last man she dated. So remember, the dating process is about finding compatibility. Don't worry about finding compatibility at 15. If you do there's a girl that you have your eye on and want to, date or have fun with, just have fun. Don't pressure into anything. Just enjoy each other. You're 15, you're young. You haven't even got into life yet. You're laying in the foundation. What you do in the next 10 years will pretty much define you as you get older. The reason I went into the service, because I knew I needed some discipline. Had I not, I would be a completely different person than I am today. Not necessarily I'd be a bad person, but I'd be a different person. Probably wouldn't be the person I am right now. But at 15, I'm sure you're interested in girls. Just be polite. Understand they are an alien species. I've been married for going on 31 years. I dated 2 girls, and some I liked more than they liked me. Some liked me more than I liked them. And I met my wife. It is so good. We also bought some grapes. for more energy. Good morning. First time tuning in. Well, I appreciate it, Patrick. So this is about fitness and nutrition and enjoying life. Other creators have influenced me. They have a little bit more fun, and I try to return the favor to everybody else. My slogan is just get in the gym and lift, or run, or yoga, or Pilates, or whatever. But getting active at least 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week, will improve not only your health, but probably your outlook on life. Right now, it's here. See if I can show everybody. Goodness, in a cold climate, but it's nice and sunny. But it's probably only about 40 degrees out. That is Fahrenheit. I think I have some who uses a metric system, which makes more sense. Sun in, sun against the skin helps produce vitamin D. I won't have very much exposed skin, so I should have known better. I shouldn't have moved. There we go. So I do take supplements. I take see you there. Thanks for stopping in. So I do take a multivitamin, kind of a catch-all. I take other minerals. This one here, I take for asthma. All right, turmeric and Orgina, because of a Asian beetle they brought over here. DNR did this. When you kill them, they give off like an oil scent. And I'm very allergic to them. It had me on 3 medications at one time. Now I don't take any medications. I just take this once a day, and I'm fine. So I try to find natural remedies whenever I can. Hey, Okikan, how you doing? And when I can, right now I'm on 0 prescription drugs. So at 62 years old, I take 0 prescription drugs, which is rare. What I do is I take a lot of minerals and vitamins and kind of do the same thing the prescription drugs do when I can, but always listen to your doctor. My wife is on prescription drugs because of diabetes and because of blood pressure. And a lot of it is because she's a Native American, so a lot of it's hereditary. So far, I've been blessed. I know my cholesterol is a little high, but I've been taking some minerals and aminos that help with that also. And I think I feel healthier not being on any statins or anything like that. They just they make it rough on your day. And they also rough on your liver. So this weekend was an exhausting weekend. Thanks for a thumbs up, everybody. I had a very good time at the meet. Bill Carpenter runs a very good meet there in Dubuque, Iowa at the Grand Harbor Resort. UPA, I always enjoyed lifting in their federation. I do lift in other federations too. The USPA does a good one. They've had a little bit of political problems, but that's just here or near or there. I lifted in the WUAP. Unfortunately, it has closed down here in America. It is a world event. It's still going on in, I think, South Africa and still going on in Europe. Hopefully, it'll get started back up again. The people that are running it just, it's a lot of work. I give the people who run these events a lot of credit because I know just how much work they have to put into it. So I will be doing the UPA again in July. It's going to be only 3 days after I throw in the Senior Olympics. So this should be interesting. But should work out well for me because I shouldn't be lifting that weekend anyway. They are. And understand, working out builds not just strong muscles and tendons, but it builds strong bones. It builds a strong circulatory system. Remember, your circulatory system is pretty much the main highway to get everything to everywhere. If you have a poor circulatory system, then nutrition is going to be difficult to get to the muscles. White blood cells and T cells and B cells are going to be difficult to get to areas where we're fighting infection. So nutrition is key. I take lots of vitamins. I did a series on it. twice. I did them as a live stream and I did them as a premiere not that long ago on the benefits of vitamin C. I did one on vitamin D. I did one on zinc. I did one on magnesium, on the B vitamins, vitamin K, vitamin A. I just did a whole series. Hey, Ethan, how we doing? So weight's only 3 pounds, which I was at before I started cutting weight. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with my performance. You say there was much rejoicing. Yay! So what I'm going to do is pretty much today is going to be about catching up on calories. And I'll probably go and do an arm and back day at the gym. So I'll probably be the one in Pontiac. And then, depending on how I feel, because I'm still feeling the Saturday's lifts, which are kind of funny because, I'm not doing much more than what I do while I work out. But your adrenaline is definitely, I can't wear jeans in those lifts. They don't allow it. Otherwise, I would. Yeah, in the house, I walk around with shorts. I'll have jeans on when I go on my hike. Jeans are comfortable. I find them very comfortable to wear. So I have more jeans, far more jeans than I have sweatpants. I got maybe 2 pairs of sweatpants. Too funny. So the meet went well. Everybody had a good time. We only had one lifter miss all 3 of his lifts. He was I do pull-ups, push-ups. I do deep knee bends. I do those not as often as I should. I used to do them, God, so much. And they're so good for you. With push-ups, you can do every day. There's a body weight exercise you can do every day. I was actually doing push-ups to stay warmed up for my meet. I think I was the only one that did that. After I did my 4:05 warm-up, well, about 10 minutes later, it was getting time to get ready to lift. But I didn't want to, so I did 10 push-ups, and that kept me pumped. I did my warm-up a little different than I usually do. I didn't do nearly as much. Because usually what I would do is not the format here, Kamari. I appreciate the question, but that's not what this YouTube channel is about. So nutrition, I do have another channel that's called MacBean Farms and Prepping. And if you want to subscribe to that and shoot me a question on that, I'll be more happy to discuss with that or messages. But here, this is fitness, nutrition. This is to kind of get away from all that stuff. It's on the news 24/7. It does not need to be on my YouTube channel. Here is about getting out and getting relaxed, enjoying the outdoors, enjoy lifting, working out, turn the news off. It's depressing. And enjoy your life, So this is about having a good time. I enjoy working out. I enjoy the way I feel after I work out. I like the way I look. Now, granted, I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm a power lifter, so there's no six-pack. It's there somewhere, but it's well insulated. But I like the ability that I can perform at a high level still. Now, not when I was 18. 18, I had, probably just like you, I had so much energy. I could run for miles. Can't do that anymore. Yep, I like the big pumps. I like, I feel good. I'm not embarrassed to take my shirt off when I'm at the beach. 2 times a year that I'm at the beach. Now, one of my bucket lists is to go to Muscle Beach in Los Angeles and go bench and maybe surprise some of the locals. And there's some nice gyms there that I've been invited to if I do get the chance. There's one in Hollywood. It's a very elite gym. I know one of the trainers there, and I would be able to do a workout there. But I think one of these times I go visit hey, Ray, how we doing? Shh, don't jinx it. Don't jinx me. All right. He'll hear you and we'll get punished. So, like I said, I had really good meat. Met some people I knew. I think I made some new friends. And like I said, except for the one equip lifter who he opened up too heavy. He was not able to make any of the lifts. His first lift, the spotters, he didn't have his own 3 spotters, and you need 3 spotters when you're doing it. So they didn't get it right. Yeah, so I don't worry about big muscles. I'm just strong. And a lot of people get confused that they think the size of the muscles also correlates with your strength, and that's not necessarily true. Somebody who works out as a bodybuilder to get bigger muscles is doing a much different workout than a power lifter or than a strongman. And I tend to be far stronger than somebody who has bigger arms than I have. Number one, bench is not an arm exercise, it's a chest and shoulders, and the triceps get involved right towards the end. So, back here, the triceps are not really doing anything. And I know I've had a lot of bodybuilders walk out of the area of the gym I'm at because of the amount of weight I'm lifting, which is silly. I do understand what type of... I haven't arm wrestled in a long time. I used to. Last time I arm wrestled, and that video's out there on Facebook somewhere, is when I ran a retail store. One of the salespeople says, "I don't think you're as strong as you are. Let's arm wrestle." And well, he wasn't as strong as he thought either. And so it was quite funny. He's, I'm holding him. He's grunting and groaning. And I finally said, "Well, what time is it? It's time for this to be over." Bam. So I used to arm wrestle when I was younger. Professional arm wrestling, you got to be careful. I mean, those guys are fast, and for me to get into that now, the potential of blowing a shoulder out is very high. I do know a professional one online. His name is Daniel Moser, and very strong wins most of his matches. But he's like, go bam, and he's throwing everything into it. And at 62, I don't want to be doing that. I told him I'd arm wrestle as long as we'd start out slow and just make it an exercise, which he agreed. But he's down in Texas, so I haven't had a chance to meet him in person. I imagine I'd probably be pretty good at it in the old man division. But between the powerlifting and throwing in the Olympics, Senior Olympics, so I am the Illinois Senior Olympic champion for discus. And July 11th, I throw in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the Nationals. Now, I don't expect to win that one because I've seen some of the throws some of the other guys do in other states, and they're very impressive. So I'm going to enjoy watching them because some of these guys are they're going to throw it 180 feet. And when you start throwing a discus that far, it looks like poetry. If I can get one out there in 140, I'll be happy. So I'm going to start that probably next week. So as the weather gets a little bit better, I'll be throwing out my driveway, and then probably on the weekends I'll try to go to the school and throw off their pad. And right now, I did throw earlier last month. They had a warm day. Of course, I was rusty, which I expected to be, but the throw was still good and the release was still good. So if I can throw 15 to 20 feet further than I did at state, I will be a happy camper. That will be my goal. So, but really, enjoy your workouts, enjoy getting outdoors, enjoy life. I don't let things that happen, 5,000 miles away affect me because they don't affect me. All right. I don't let the few trolls with their negative comments affect me. So I don't suffer trolls. You're gone as soon as you become one. So I got my troll slayer right there, lone wolf. You say something stupid, he will take you out by blocking you. But life is too short to be angry. Try to be a better version of yourself. Understand it's going to take time and pressure. The difference between a lump of coal and a diamond is time and pressure. All right, we all start out with a lump of coal. And if you keep the pressure on there, at some point you'll be a diamond. So I was just basically figured I had some time to have a good juice drink, wait for the sun to heat things up a little bit more. It looks like they have. I got my phone pretty much charged enough for me to do a walk video. So I will go and do my 3 to 4 mile hike. That'll give me time to get home and take a shower, make my lunches for work, and then head out to work. Well, head out to the gym, work out in the park. Yep. And I live out in the country, so I have literally miles and miles of park. I got woods behind me, which I could walk back. Maybe I'll do the woods. The ground's a little wet, but maybe I'll throw the boots on and go back in the woods instead of just walking down the road. So I might do a woods walk behind me. So I live in a park pretty much. I got 14 acres and literally probably about 20,000 acres around me to go and to explore and get in trouble with. That's why I moved out here. It was really my goal to do so. So once again, I'd like to thank everybody that has followed me and followed my journey to getting ready for the meet. I do appreciate that. People go, well, how come your weights do that? So that's real life. Problem is, you get people that only post their PRs, only post their accomplishments. Well, that's not how it works in the gym. Some days you have great days, and some days, not so great. So you have to put the work in and understand there's going to be days you're not as strong. And then there's days that you're stronger. So my next meeting, I'm going to try to look for one for maybe April or May and see if there's one I can pop into real quick, maybe a different federation. Otherwise, my next main one will be probably in July. Maybe I'll catch one in June. We'll see. I do want to do more of them now that I'm healthier, and it also helps support my channel. I'm going to shoot Bill Carpenter an email because he was asking me, was that a podcast you were doing? But he was giving out awards, so we couldn't have a conversation. So I'll shoot him an email and let him know about what MacBean Scottish Fitness is all about. And maybe I can get him to post some of his, you can use me as to say, hey, you pay me. He's going to come on. Here's how you sign on. So maybe I can get affiliated with him somehow. We'll see how that goes. So everybody remember, rest, nutrition, and proper exercise. And enjoy life. All right? Have fun with your life. Physical health is also mental health. Yeah, there is. If you're competing, I wouldn't say there's pressure, but I'm highly motivated to win these events. Where when I didn't compete, I wasn't. To increase height? No, that's all genetics. Nutrition, good nutrition, and you will grow to your 100% potential. I always said if I grew up in my wife's family, I would probably be about 2 inches taller because they cooked great meals in that when I was a kid. My sisters cooked, they didn't want to, so the meals were very bad. And I started cooking when I was 14 because they were. So I didn't eat a lot when I was younger, which I know affected some of my growth. I think I would have been a little bit taller had I ate better. So just make sure you get proper nutrition. But otherwise, your height is going to be determined by your genetics. But having proper nutrition, especially having a good breakfast, at least 3 meals a day. I eat 5. They're smaller meals, but it keeps the energy level up. Will help you reach your full potential. But I think the pressure in the fitness industry, I think, is in the bodybuilding. And I think that's why you have such a huge use of steroids, or what they say, PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, is because in order to compete with that, you have to. I know an individual who takes everything under the sun. And last time he competed, they told me you need to be bigger. And I'm like, well, how can he be bigger? I mean, he's shooting up in the gym all the time. So I think the industry has kind of encouraged that. So I never want to see the muscle bodybuilding industry talk about steroids because they encourage it. I'm sure it's in the powerlifting too. I don't do it. It's just not for me. I'm stronger than I ever thought I was going to be. So I don't see a need for it. I know a lot of people who do. They're adults, make adult decisions. The problem with most of those drugs is they build you strong muscles, but they do not build you strong tendons. They do not do anything for the ligaments. They don't do anything for the joints. So what happens is your muscles become so strong, they actually pull away from that, and you end up getting injured. So you have to be very, very careful. Yes, it can help. Nothing extraordinary. No, there's no magic pill for height. All right, it's genetics. My mom's brothers were 6'1" to 6'4", so I'm 6'4". My grandpa was 6'1". On my dad's side, they were all shorter. So my brothers are much shorter than I am. It's just genetics. Although we do seem to be, as a nation, getting, as a planet, as a species, getting taller all the time. And I think a lot of it is nutrition. I think a lot of times people were shorter because they didn't have proper nutrition. They would be happy, right? You don't need to do steroids. You can look good without it. You can look huge. You can have a huge back and concrete blocks for shoulders. No, but you're gonna have a nice physique. You're gonna be strong, and that's another thing is they think that you have to have those huge muscles to be strong. You don't. I was at the medieval fair years ago, and they have a contest on the Sunday where they have you hit the hammer and ring the bell. So they do a strongman contest with that. And so there was like 20 of us competing, and there was a younger man. Anybody under 40 I refer to as younger. He had a nice toned muscles and that. He had, he was dressed to the nines, I would say. And he told his son, watch Daddy win this contest. And my son looked at me and said, did you hear it? I said, yeah. I said, regardless of what I do, I'm going to place ahead of him. And then he asked me, who do you think you're going to win this? I said, well, there's two parts of this contest. There's, to hit 10 in a row, the best out of 10 gets you to the next one. I think at least half the people are going to be capable to do that. I said, the next one is how many you can do in 2 minutes. Now it becomes not just a strength, but an endurance. And there definitely was a bodybuilder there. He was dressed up as King Tut. And I said, I think he's going to win it because his exercises are endurance ones. They're, 20, 30, 40 reps. The reps till exhaustion. So I think anybody's going to win it, it's going to be him. And I did guess it right. It was him. The person who got second, I got third, but the person who got second, just a normal build. He was probably about 5'8", maybe 175 pounds. He had jeans on. He worked for the railroad, but he had natural strength and stamina. He got second. I got third. Mr. I'm going to win it got fifth. So being big muscles doesn't mean you're going to be the strongest on the block. That wiry person is going to be the strongest one. Well, I've always been wiry. Now, I haven't gotten bigger because I've been lifting for 49 years. But I don't really lift for size. I lift for strength. And I think that's why I get called out. Weights, it's fake weights. You don't look big enough to lift that. No, you don't understand how this works. You don't have to be big to lift a lot of weight. All right? You have to be big to win bodybuilding contests because that's what they're looking for. But be happy with yourself. Just always try to make a better version of yourself over time. Remember, time and pressure, slow and steady wins the race. Personally, I do not do steroids. I do not recommend them. But then again, if somebody does them, I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, you're an adult, make adult decisions. You're over 18, I just make sure you do it under doctor supervision. Don't be ordering it from Mr. PhilPharmacyOnline.com. All right, do it through the advice of a doctor who's familiar with them. Don't be ordering stuff online. That's silly. You don't know what the heck you're getting. And like I said, and even doing that, you still have to put the time in. You still have to have the nutrition, and it's not a miracle drug. It just allows you to work out harder if you do it. It allows you to build bigger muscles if you put the time in, if you put the nutrition in. You still have to do this stuff. It's just not drink milk. There you go. But they ain't growing. That's all right. You might be done. I ate my greens and fruits and vegetables. They're all saying they're showing. How about protein? Now, milk's a good source of protein, but so are meats. And the meats is either beef, chicken, fish, or turkey or pork. But you need to have your protein. If you're trying to grow, you need at least a gram of protein per body weight per day. And remember, you can only process about 30 to 50 grams per meal. So that's when you want to sit there and get into 4 or 5 meals a day. So I know you're a poet, you don't know it, but your feet show it. Yeah, I respect them too because they got a diet. I ain't gonna die. They always ask me, well, a lot of times powerlifters when we retire become bodybuilders. I said, not this one. I said, I used to be able to get down to about 6% body weight naturally because I had a metabolism. Those days are over, and I just like my food too much. So I respect them. I respect the powerlifters. Here, let me pick up this boulder for you. I respect anybody that's sitting there trying to better themselves, regardless how they're doing it. And that's the way everybody should be. Should respect somebody in the gym because they're trying to do something better for themselves. But you follow good advice. There is no fad that takes care of it. And that it's time and effort, which does the trick for you. And with that, I want to get dressed and I'm going to head out and get my hike back in the woods in. So I'm going to throw on my boots and see if I can scare up some deer. And move stealthily. So everybody, thanks for joining in. Thanks for the comments. It makes it much better when I get feedback and I get questions, and that gives me something to talk about. And have a good time in the gym. Remember, if you want, one-on-one advice, you can. If you are over 18, I'm not going to charge somebody who's 15 years old. But if you are over 18, you could just join the membership. Then you can send me emails, and we can talk about nutrition and lifting and that. We can even get together in video chats and that. But you have to be over 18. I'm not going to charge a minor. So if you're under 18, you can send me an email anyway, and I'll try to give you good advice at scottishfitness@gmail.com. Everybody have a wonderful day. Remember, rest, nutrition, proper exercise. Have fun.